The tension between group loyalty and personal integrity is one of the most fundamental dilemmas in human behavior. When loyalty to a group, whether it be familial, political, social, or religious, takes precedence over one's own moral compass, the consequences can be dire. History, psychology, and data illustrate how this dynamic plays out in ways that ripple far beyond individual choices, setting dangerous precedents for communities, nations, and entire generations. Consider the rise of totalitarian regimes in the 20th century, where loyalty to the state was elevated above all else. Nazi Germany is perhaps the most infamous example. Under Adolf Hitler's regime, millions of ordinary citizens were swept into a vortex of groupthink and nationalism. Many soldiers, bureaucrats, and civilians carried out horrific acts, not necessarily because they were inherently immoral, but because their loyalty to the Nazi Party overshadowed personal ethics. They rationalized or excused behavior that, under normal circumstances, would have been unthinkable. The atrocities committed during the Holocaust serve as a haunting reminder of what happens when personal integrity is sacrificed for the sake of blind loyalty. This behavior is driven by the human need for belonging. Social identity theory, first developed by psychologist Henri Tajfel, explains how individuals derive part of their self-concept from the groups they belong to. Once an individual strongly identifies with a group, their actions and beliefs are often shaped by that identity, sometimes at the expense of their own moral judgments. The desire to maintain group cohesion and avoid the discomfort of dissonance can lead individuals to suppress their own ethical concerns in favor of the group's agenda. This is especially true in situations where dissent could lead to ostracism or punishment. The phenomenon of group loyalty overriding personal integrity is not just a matter of historical record. It continues to manifest in contemporary settings. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology found that people were significantly more likely to support unethical behavior, such as lying or cheating, when they believed it benefited their group. This finding was particularly stark in political contexts, where party affiliation often dictates not just voting behavior but moral judgments as well. In the United States, for instance, political polarization has led to a scenario where many voters justify or excuse the unethical actions of their preferred leaders, simply because they belong to their team. Once we allow group loyalty to overrule personal integrity, we set dangerous precedents. Corruption can become normalized, injustice tolerated, and truth twisted. In organizations, this manifests as a toxic culture, where whistleblowers are silenced, and unethical practices are swept under the rug. In nations, it can lead to the erosion of democratic norms, where leaders are given free rein to act without accountability because their supporters prioritize loyalty over honesty. This prioritization of loyalty has real-world consequences. The 2020 Edelman Trust Barometer, which measures public trust in institutions, showed a significant decline in trust across many democracies, with a notable gap in trust between political party loyalists and independent voters. This reflects a broader trend where loyalty to a political tribe often outweighs concerns about corruption, misinformation, or governance failures. The cost of elevating group loyalty above personal integrity is clear. It distorts moral clarity, weakens social bonds, and erodes the very foundations of trust in institutions. While loyalty to a group is not inherently negative, it becomes dangerous when it blinds us to truth and compels us to justify the unjustifiable. In the long run, the strength of any society depends not on unquestioning loyalty but on the courage of individuals to stand by their principles, even when it means standing apart from the group.